In tonight's magical sleep story, you will find yourself in the ancient city of Cappadocia. You will take a balloon ride over the surreal landscape of fairy chimneys and be transported to a private cavern spa where you will enjoy a traditional meal, bathe in a natural pool, and finally fall into a deep restorative sleep in a hanging bed over the water. Welcome to the Whispering Willow. I am Diana, and tonight I am here to remind you that you are free to relax, unwind, and travel with me on a magical journey to a place that has been waiting for you. A place of wonder and mystery. It's my honor to be your guide for this dreamy adventure. So wiggle a little to find a comfortable position in your bed. Close your eyes and take a deep breath, sighing out the air with a gently open mouth as I count us down. 5. Settle into a comfortable position, wiggling again if you need to find that perfect spot. Place your hands next to you, or maybe put one on top of your heart and the other on your abdomen. Feel what's beneath your fingertips. Feel the bed beneath you, supporting you. Feel the sheets beneath you or the covers atop you. You are comfortable here. Your day is over, and it's time to relax. 4. Focus on your breathing. Your core has 3 parts. Take a deep breath in and notice how your chest fills. Then extend the air to your mid-core where your rib cage is. Then extend it even further all the way down to your abdomen. Notice each part as it fills, feeling their separateness. Then exhale with an audible open-mouth sigh, allowing the air to leave you in the opposite way it filled you. First emptying out your abdomen, then your rib cage, then your chest. 3. Take 3 more breaths just like the last one, intentionally filling each of the 3 parts of your core: chest, then ribs, then rib cage, then abdomen. Then exhaling with an open-mouthed, audible sigh, giving it a little force, pushing it out a little faster than it came in. Abdomen, then rib cage, then chest. Keep blowing out steadily until you are completely empty, the exhale lasting longer than the inhale. 2. Allow your breathing to settle into a natural rhythm now. Keep your attention still focused on how you're breathing, but allow it to become natural, instinctive. Instead of trying to change anything, just let it be. Feel the natural rise and fall of your body, noticing how relaxed you feel, noticing how safe you are. In your mind, say the words, "It's safe for me to let go." 1. Allow your attention to drift slowly away from your breathing and to the atmosphere of the space you're in. Feel the air surrounding your body Maybe it's cool. Maybe it's warm. Do you hear any sounds in the room or from outside? Notice the weight of the sheets and the blankets. Notice how they protect you. As you notice each of these aspects of your environment, allow them to float through your mind and then out again, like a breeze flowing in through one open window and out through another, preparing yourself to notice each of the elements of our story without it pulling you out of your state of relaxation and peace. And now it's time for the story to begin. Located in central Turkey, Cappadocia is a land shaped by deep history and extraordinary natural forces. Its story begins as far back as 2000 BCE with the Hittites, followed by Persian rule, then later incorporated into the empire of Alexander the Great and the Roman world. Cappadocia was a place of refuge where communities carved vast underground cities to escape persecution. Above ground, the region's soft volcanic rock allowed for the creation of cave churches and monasteries, many adorned with delicate frescoes. Today, the area is home to a landscape of surreal rock formations known as fairy chimneys, shaped over millennia by volcanic eruptions and erosion. This magical place is a rare combination of ancient human ingenuity and dreamy geology. A place where the earth itself seems to hold memory, and drifting above it at sunrise, the world feels suspended between history and something magical. You find yourself standing in a wide open valley. The light is soft and barely formed. That quiet moment just before the first rays of sunlight peek over the horizon. The sky holds a pale wash of silver and deep blue. The air feels cool against your skin, but you're completely comfortable in your clothing. You look out and see a thin mist moving slowly across the ground before you, drifting like breath. And through that mist, shapes slowly begin to take form. Tall stone towers rising from the earth, some narrow, some rounded, all softened by time. They look and feel ancient, almost sculpted, as if placed here intentionally. But they were not built. They were revealed naturally over time. Long ago, this land was covered in volcanic ash, soft layers settling over centuries, and then wind and rain and time gently carved it away until these quiet formations remained. You step forward slowly, and as you do, you notice the small openings in the stone. They look like doorways, windows, passageways, carved by the people who came here, and instead of building upon the existing landscape, chose to move within it, making homes, rooms, entire lives in the soft rock. Spaces that stayed cool in the heat and warm in the cold, spaces that offered protection, stillness, and rest. Even now, that feeling remains. You sense it in your bones. The idea that this place is safe and that it has somehow been waiting just for you. It hasn't been searching. It hasn't been calling you or reaching out for you. It has simply been existing, waiting for the moment that you would arrive. So allow yourself to feel it now, that ancient patience, that security, safety, comfort. Allow yourself to settle into the feeling of this place. Notice how the earth beneath you feels, how your shoulders soften, your jaw releases. There is nothing you need to do here, but allow this sacred space to reveal itself to you, unhurried, gentle. Let your breathing match the pace of this land. A soft glow appears in the distance. It is warm, golden, and steady. You begin walking toward it, looking from side to side as you do, noticing the landscape, a pleasant mixture of vegetation and stone. As you move closer to the glow, you see the shape of a large balloon resting quietly in the valley. The fabric rises slowly and then settles again as a gentle flame breathes upward inside it. There is no urgency here, no sound of preparation, no voices, no people, only the quiet rhythm of the flame and the air. The basket waits, and something within you recognizes this moment. The basket door is open. You need not make a decision. Continuation. You step inside the basket, closing the door behind you. As you do, the flame glows a bit brighter, as if acknowledging your presence, reassuring you this is where you are meant to be. At first, nothing seems to happen. Then, almost imperceptibly, the ground begins to soften and drift away from you. You are rising gently, not with effort, but with ease. The valley falls away further and further, the stone towers becoming smaller, the shadows stretching gently across the earth. All around you, other balloons begin to rise, dozens of them, each one quiet, each one a different bright color, each one moving at its own pace, like lanterns released into the sky. It makes you feel a part of something larger than yourself. Suddenly, the sun begins to lift over the horizon, spreading rays of warmth across the land. Soft gold, pale rose. You feel the gentle light upon your face, and you feel a subtle shift within you, as if something you were holding has loosened and fallen from your grip. something you no longer need to carry, something that doesn't belong here, and you feel free, supported, lifted, carried. You drift over the valleys of Cappadocia slowly and effortlessly. Below you, the land curves and folds like soft fabric. You see winding paths, layered ridges, vineyards, and stone shaped into flowing lines. You pass over clusters of cave dwellings, small openings carved into rock, some leading to single rooms, others to entire networks of communities that once lived quietly within the earth. You notice the echoes of souls, more a feeling than a sound. People gathering, sharing meals, resting, playing, praying. You see hidden churches carved deep into the stone, their walls once painted with bright color, now softened, faded but still present. And as you float above them, it feels as though the land remembers, in a gentle, peaceful way, a steady presence, not heavy but consistent, as if everything that has ever been here has been held and softened by time, but still exists in a living, breathing memory, calm, peaceful, and still. You are now part of that stillness. Gradually, the balloon begins to lower with a movement so gentle you barely notice it at first. Then you see the details of the land begin to return. A secluded formation rises below you, rounded, protective, almost as though it encloses itself. And within, you see a narrow opening, partly hidden in shadow. The balloon drifts toward it as though it knows exactly where to go, and lands softly in front of the entrance to the cave. You step out of the basket, closing the door behind you, and walk toward the cave entrance. Inside, the air shifts, feeling warmer now, a little thicker, stiller. The light is low, cast by small lanterns placed along the natural ledges that sit at the base of the walls. The stone curves gently around you. It looks smooth, worn, and you are unsure if it has been shaped by human hands or by time. Either way, this is not an empty space. It feels lived in, safe, sacred, a place for rest. Gradually, the entrance broadens, and then it opens into a large, cavernous area, various rooms existing within the natural curves and alcoves of the rock, each separate, but each visible, large pillars standing tall throughout the space. Beautiful blooms of purple, pink, and white seem to grow magically from the rocky surfaces, and their sweet fragrances mingle and swirl toward you. Between the blossoms, you see lush, green vines wandering along the walls. Plush cushions are spaced throughout the cave on the floor, and olive trees grow in pots in spaces where natural light shines through the cave openings. Candles of various sizes sit in each space along the cave floor, on ledges, on surfaces, their gentle light adding a warm glow to the already bright space. You look around, curious to see where that brightness comes from, as you expected the interior of this cave to be much darker than it is. There are lanterns with flames burning along the walls of each space. There are also small crevices high up in the surfaces of the rocky walls and ceiling that let in a little light. But you have a sense that the brightness is part magical as well, for the space is bright in a way that is more glowing than reflecting. In the center of the room is a large pool of water in deep shades of blue and green. A set of natural stone steps leading down into its depths. Petals float atop its surface. At the far end of the pool, the rocky floor narrows to a space that leads to another small pool, with a gentle waterfall flowing down the rocks from somewhere above. There is a larger hole in the ceiling here, and the natural light shines down through it, brightening the rocks and the water in this area. On the left, you see another pool resting in a small alcove. You can tell it is a natural hot spring because steam rises from its surface, swirling up through the cracks and crevices of the rock above, eventually escaping to the air outside. Luxurious chairs made of natural woods have been placed around the cave, some for sitting and some for lounging. Each have thick cushions in white fabric with matching pillows. Many have light blankets resting on their edges. Near each body of water, there are tables housing plush towels and crystal containing water with lemons, cucumber, and strawberries infused within the liquid. To your right, you see a large space divided into two sections. The first houses a large bar area and dining room, partially rich, polished wood, and partially natural stone. The second houses a living space and a swinging bed which hangs over the large pool. Brightly colored rugs are placed throughout the living and dining areas in tones of emerald, sapphire, and ruby. There is seating along the bar, and atop the polished surface, you see platters filled with food, most of which looks traditional for the area. The entire space is natural, yet exudes luxurious comfort and care. You feel as though you have wandered into a hidden spa. There is a quiet sense that you have been expected in this place, that it has been waiting for you. You notice how welcome and special that makes you feel. The space feels intentional, yet not excessive. Simple, beautiful, and calm. You sit atop one of the stools next to the bar and look at the small but lavish meal that sits on its surface. Feeling an emptiness in your belly, you sample the offerings. The figs are soft and sweet, their insides rich with flavor. There are cool, delicate grapes, both green and red. Slices of cheese, smooth and creamy, and still warm bread with crisp edges. There are dishes filled with olives. They smell earthy and briny, and honey, golden and slow, catching the light from the nearby lantern. You fill a plate with a variety of selections and take it over to the plush seating area in the living space near the fireplace, where a gentle fire burns, more for ambiance than heat, as the cave naturally regulates its own temperature. You take your time, eating each bite quietly, enjoying the rich and varied flavors, each bite grounding you further into the moment. You relax back on the plush sofa, pulling a blanket across your lap, and luxuriate in the fact that there is no need to rush. There's no time limit, no requirements or expectations. Your only job is to experience this moment and enjoy it fully. After eating, you remove your clothes and settle into the pool, feeling the cool water rising up over your body as you move down each step. You sit on a ledge that protrudes naturally from the stone wall of the pool, noticing how the surface of the water looks like glass as you still. The water wraps around you, lifting you, holding you. The world outside seems far away. Even the idea of its existence fades from your memory. In this moment, there is only this moment. Warmth, stillness, support. You close your eyes and rest your head against a thick towel at the edge of the pool. You feel the weight of your body lighten in the water as your arms float gently beside you. And you think of the balloon ride you took to get here, floating over the rich green vineyards and reddish sandy stone fairy chimneys. After a time, you step out of the cool pool and walk to the hot pool. You step into it slowly as the steam rises gently into the air. As you sink to your neck, you feel the heat settle into you deeply, reaching places that have been holding tension for a long time. As you close your eyes, you imagine water-like fingers massaging you gently, releasing that tension without any effort. It just lifts out of you and floats away with the steam. You don't need to do anything to let it go. It simply leaves, and you feel the immediate relief. You soak for a while, allowing the relaxation to take a strong hold on you. Then you begin to feel a wave of tiredness washing over you, almost out of nowhere. like you just realized how tired you really are. You step out of the hot pool and wrap a towel around you. Walking to the main chamber, you realize that the outside light has softened, leaving the gentle golden glow from the wall sconces and candles. You put on some cozy pajamas and grab a cup of hot tea from the bar area. Taking it back to the sofa in front of the fire, you sit down and pull the light blanket over your lap again. As you watch the flames, the scent of peppermint and lavender wafts up through the steamy cup in your hands. You sink back into the plushness of the sofa and allow the memories of your day to wash over you. You rise from the sofa and set your teacup on the bar, walking over to the bed. It swings gently above the pool, one side hanging over the rock floor, just enough to give you a place to stand when you enter the bed. The comforter is a thick, white brocade fabric, and 4 large pillows lie against the headboard, which is made of the same heavy, dark polished wood as the bar. 4 thick ropes hold the bed in place at the 4 corners. It is curtained in a thin, white fabric above the headboard and across the sides, tied back at the top corners so you can view the space while still feeling enclosed. You reach up and pull back the covers. At a thought, you walk over to the sofa and pick up the lap blanket you've been using. You bring it over to the bed and place it atop the mattress before climbing upon the bed, feeling it swing just slightly as you do. Its heaviness prevents it from moving too much, but there is a definite motion. You pull the covers over you, feeling their softness. The temperature in the room is perfect, but you still reach down and pull the lap blanket atop you, scrunching it slightly, not to cover you, but to give your fingertips something soft, gentle, and comforting to touch. You allow your head to sink into the depths of the pillows and take in a deep breath, sighing out the day. The light has softened even more as evening settles over the cave. The only sound you hear is the gentle gurgle of the waterfall at the far end of the pool. You smell the clean scent of earth, water, and flowers. You feel the nearly imperceptible sway of the bed, like being held in a quiet rhythm. Your body sinks, your breath softens, and the cave around you grows still. Your heavy eyelids close without you even noticing it has happened. This place has been here for thousands of years, formed slowly and patiently, shaped by time and softened by use. This is a place made for shelter, for quiet, for rest. And somehow, you have been led here, not by chance, but by something that understands. As the gentle heaviness of sleep thickens over you, you allow yourself to let go, knowing this place holds you and keeps you, knowing you are safe. There is nothing you need to do. It is time to stop and let go. You don't need to think about yesterday or tomorrow. You can simply float, drift, knowing you are completely held and secure, suspended, supported. And as the warmth lingers in your heart and mind, and the softness lingers around you, you feel the stillness deepening as sleep draws closer, pulling you in like the tide pulls the water, drifting down in perfect comfort, peace, and bliss as sleep gently finds you. Good night.